is Minda Wilson for Urgent Care. Today I'm very excited to speak to Woodall for Camp for Heroes and Gina Esoldi for Next Steps Service Dogs. I met them at the Western Conservative Conference and found them both fascinating. Welcome to the show.
It's great to be with you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
So I was wondering, Woody, what sort of started you on this journey of service that you've been on?
Well, I was building the North Carolina Fallen Firefighter Memorial here in North Carolina, and when 9/11 happened, and we kind of suspended our operation and started helping the firefighters in New York. I was a firefighter here in North Carolina, and I was the official liaison to New York. And when the war started, we wanted to show the guys love and appreciation for what we were doing. So we started going to Walter Reed and the hospitals and really getting close to the warriors. And that's what we did. And we anything they needed, we wanted to help them out with, and their families. And, you know, it was a little bit out of our wheelhouse because, you know, we're just firefighters. We didn't know exactly what we were doing. We just knew that we wanted to show them some love and appreciation. And as time went on and we got educated and how we could help them, a lot of things come into play. You know, a lot of them were complaining about too many drugs and what they were, you know, feeling, how they were feeling, and what was going on with their in their lives. And we started losing a lot to suicide and this, that, and the other. And anyway, but I found with especially the guys that had good working service dogs, they felt more at peace, more at rest. They had a companion, and it just gives them more of a completeness. And so we started, you know, looking in that area too. So it's amazing what these service dogs do for these warriors.
So what you found was that a lot of people who had served our country were being given drugs, and what they really felt they needed was something more than that, something different than that. And one of the solutions to that you found was service dogs. And did that lead to the founding of Camp for Heroes? How did that?
Well, yeah. Well, a lot of it was my own personal story. I was in an explosion myself in 2004, and I got in a pretty dark place in 2006 and was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress in 2007. And I myself was put on a lot of you know, drugs and stuff, and actually it did the negative effect on me where it even depressed me more and got me. And the therapist that I was with, you know, she was like, what is something you really love to do? I said, or you're good at. And I said, well, I'm a singer, but at the time I couldn't sing because I was in respiratory rehab for about a year after the explosion. So I said, art. I mean, and I'm an artist. I like to draw. So she got me on a path, and I drew the actual memorial that we were building, and I did a painting of it. And that painting is in firehouses all over North Carolina, the prints of it. And it made me, that part of PTSD that makes you feel worthless, or you've got nothing to offer people, or you've got nothing to give back, changed in me. And I realized that a lot of this could be changed by things like art, service dogs. There's a lot of different things. If we find the niche of the guy, of the warrior, that whatever it is he's good at. So here at the camp, we're offering service dog training, art classes, culinary arts, blacksmithing, welding, a lot of different things. Trying to find that niche that these warriors can have, even karate, even you know, martial arts, things like that that we can do. But one of the biggest things of all the things we have found is the companionship and how it brings the level of anxiety down with these warriors to have that service dog. And one of the programs we want to do here, and Gina has been so gracious, and she's great. I mean, she was down here with my dog, and she's going to be working with him as a service dog also. But I could never get him to go in my car. I wanted to take him places, never could get him to go in my car. In 10 minutes, she had him jumping in the car, wait, and then when I opened the car door, he's already in. I mean, it's amazing what she did in 5 minutes, and I'd been trying to do for 2 months. But but it just shows that someone with that kind of knowledge and what they do, and they're just amazing at Next Step. How they their abilities and their knowledge on how to do these service dogs, and to get. And I know how my dog. I mean, he's not even a service dog, but I know when I get a little anxious or a little anxiety, it's like he automatically knows it. So he'll climb up in my lap or curl up in my lap. And he's 100 pounds, so when he thinks he's a lap dog, he's just a 1-year-old puppy, but he'll climb up my lap and curl up just like he knows I need that comfort, and it's just amazing. So to implement something like this is a great thing for Camp Heroes, and we're going to do Train the Trainer, where these warriors will be coming, and they'll be teaching warriors how to train the dogs for other warriors. So if they can give back and have that sense of accomplishment inside them, that they're doing something great for other warriors, it makes them feel more complete, and it takes that worthlessness feeling out of them and makes them feel like they are giving back, because that's the key. They want to give, they just don't know what they have, and the disease will just eat you alive, making you feel like you can't do anything. So it's up to us to encourage them and show them there is another way.
So Gina, how did you get involved with dogs as a way to help people regain their sense of self, and how did you two get together?
I was not in the dog world. I had a very, I think it was fate. I was at a dog park, and I had the wonderful experience of meeting Sally Montruccio, who is the founder and CEO, training director of Next Step Service Dogs. And I saw what she was doing with her dog, and one of the dogs she had in training at the park. And I had been looking for something in my life, dog related. I was thinking about animal behavior school and people. I love working with people. And I didn't know how I was going to tie the two together, but the day I met Sally, I figured that out. And I had the wonderful opportunity to go to her training center where she welcomed me. And it's been history. I've been there almost every day since. I saw firsthand, I've always loved animals, loved dogs. And I saw firsthand with the dogs the difference they were making in the warrior's life.
I'm totally confused. So service dogs. I mean, what is a service dog? What training do they go to? How do they bond with their masters? I mean, it just seems like it's more than a pet. So what is
much more than a pet? And I'm glad you asked me that question. A service dog does a specific task for its handler, for the person it's serving. Yes, in addition, it gives you love unconditionally and, all those good things, basic obedience that a pet dog has. But a service dog does a specific task. It turns on lights. It creates space. It interrupts nightmares. I've trained dogs for seizure response, go get help, things of that nature, carry a med bag. So a service dog does a very specific task for the individual they're with, for their handler. And that's why it's so critical when you're out in public that we don't interrupt a service dog when they're working, because that dog could miss a very important cue from the person they're serving, from the warrior, and it could be a life or death. It's a seizure. It could be a life or death.
So what you're saying is that if someone is suffering PTSD, they have both medical and they have medical issues, and the service dog is more than just a pet. It's more than just a companion. It helps them cope with their medical issues as well. So
it is a medical tool. I refer to the dog, and the dog is a medical tool in their toolbox. They still go to their therapy. They still have, many of them, although quite a reduction in medication since they've been paired with the dog, but they have their medication that they take. The dog is not it doesn't cure them, but it's another tool in their toolbox. Many of them would never even go,
So the dog takes care of them, but then they have the responsibility of taking care of the dog. So it's the symbiotic relationship between the two that actually leads to the psychological benefits for the warrior. Is that am I understanding it?
That's absolutely correct. It gives them purpose. It gives them a reason to get up in the morning. They have to get out. The dog has to toilet. The dog has to be fed. They enjoy taking the dog for a walk. They even get to be more comfortable in public because they're excited to show off their partner. So the dog, so yes, it comes with responsibility, but the responsibility turns their life.
And then once they see that they can manage these responsibilities and they can do it over an extended period of time, it makes them feel more comfortable, more confident to take on other kinds of responsibilities. Is that right?
Absolutely. A lot of our teams, they have the ability to go back to work, to go to school, to go to their son's football game. These are things that we go to the gym, we take for granted. We can't do that, but with the use of the dog, it gives them that confidence to get back to those things they enjoy.
And so Captain Woodall, is this your experience with the dog as well?
Absolutely. We, not only my experience, but I've dealt with warriors. I've been doing this for 16 years. And I've seen many, many warriors that have service dog. One in particular I think of is Leslie Smith. She lives in King George, Virginia. She's legally blind. She's an amputee, and she has Isaac, her service dog. And like when she is walking, and if someone comes up on her blind side, which is like on her left, her left, she don't have any sight at all in her left eye, and very little in her right. Her dog will actually poise around her and stop any traffic coming that way so it won't interrupt her, or they won't get too close to her because she don't know that they're coming. And also, like when she gets ready to stand up because she has prosthetics, she'll make some kind of motion and he'll step in front of her, and she uses him actually to lift herself up on his back. So that's what he's trained to do. And this is the things like Gina and Next Step do. I mean, whatever that need of that particular warrior is, that's the way they train the dog. And it's amazing. That's why they have to pair them up with the right person. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing and a great bond. And like Gina said, it gives them also a sense of purpose, the warrior, a sense of purpose where, he's not only giving back, like he'd like to give back to his other battle buddies, but he has a responsibility to take care of his service animal because his service animal takes care of him. So it's a great bond. It works both ways, and it gives him that sense of purpose.
So how did you two come together? So you were introduced through Barbara Beach, our producer, and then how did you two decide that you would work together? I mean, it's unusual for nonprofits to collaborate in this way.
Not really. I collaborate with about 12 other nonprofits. Mm-hmm. The thing about, I think, in the nonprofit world, if you're really out here to help the warriors and that's what you do, there shouldn't be any competition with anybody. You all should be a common goal, and that's make a difference in their lives. Mm-hmm. But with us, with Sally and Gina and I, they came down to the camp, and we talked about how we could make this work because it's just being able to expand and help more people. When you collaborate with other nonprofits, like if I've got something may not be in my wheelhouse, but I've got other nonprofits that may be in their wheelhouse, I'll go to them and help the warrior with them. And if it's not in their wheelhouse, they may come to me in a specific thing that I can help a warrior with that they can't, and I help. So it's always good to collaborate with other nonprofits.
And what does your collaboration look like between the two of you?
It was a natural fit. The core of the Next Step Academy that will be at Camp for Heroes is teaching our warriors how to puppy train, to give them a job, an opportunity to get a job, a career in dog training. And then ultimately, these trainers, if they wish, and they'd like to continue in the program, to train our warriors to be service dog trainers. That's the ultimate goal.
But that's a difficult process. I mean, it takes a lot of training to teach someone to train, correct?
It does. It does. But we're going to have someone on staff there that will be holding the training classes. Our goal is to have the public, our civilians or public coming in with their puppies to be trained by our warriors. I think that's a great concept. The community gets to engage and give back, and our warriors that are in training to be puppy trainers have an opportunity to work and be comfortable out in the public. Yeah, it is going to take some coordination, but I know I'll be going down to North Carolina to get our trainers started, and we have teams that are scattered around the country that are anxious to get started with us and come and give back to Next Step. So I think it's going to be a win-win, and is a perfect fit for Camp for Heroes.
But this is different than, like, you know, when a family gets a new puppy and they take it to a puppy trainer to, you know, learn how to, you know, go outside, or you're talking,
Mm-hmm.
it's a big difference from that, right?
Well, I think what she's saying is,
it's not what we're going to be doing. Is we're going to initially we'll be training the veterans how to become puppy trainers, and then they will be holding puppy classes, those 8-week classes for what I call stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and they'll be part of those puppy classes is that explaining to the families, you know, how to house train their dogs, and just like if you went to any other puppy training class out in your community, it would be held at Camp for Heroes, run by our warriors.
And then what's the phase 2 and phase 3 part of it?
Phase 2 would that they would be, you know, warriors that are going on in the program. Phase 2 would be learning how to train adult dogs for a career in adult dogs, and phase 3 would be learning to train service dogs, as we do here at our other campus in Escondido. We are training our veterans to become service dog trainers, so that they work directly with their comrades, and it's just they're like-minded. They can speak a lingo I can't speak, and it's just a win. It's just a winning situation for both of them and for our community. We have a community built here.
right. So very simply, it's like when a warrior comes in, we can bring the community in, and he can obedience train the community's dog. That's getting his feet wet on how to train dogs in the beginning. That's phase 1. And correct me if I'm wrong, Gina, because you're the dog expert, but that's phase 1. Phase 2 is when he goes to the adult dogs, and he starts obedience training them and getting a little more into how to train the adult dog. And then if he wants to go a step further, he feels comfortable at it, he can go into service dog training. At the very least, this warrior himself, if he decides, well, you know what, I'm not really comfortable in service training dogs, but I really love obedience training local dogs, it still gives him a purpose. It gives the warrior a purpose. He can go obedience train dogs in the community, or he can go a step further into step 3 and start training service dogs for other warriors, which is, like Gina said, it's a win-win proposition any way they go.
So not only is it a chance for them to follow their passion, which is their interest in animals, but it also gives a chance to create employment in the dog training industry.
Exactly.
Correct. Yes.
And that's an amazing opportunity. And then they have their own experience with their own dogs to fall back on and use it as modeling. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct. And they may not, you know, they may decide that, well, maybe the training obedience is not for them, but they still have that that tool and that experience and that knowledge to maybe use later in life, you know, or just use on their family dogs. So it's you know, they're still walking away with something. So
how do people support you in your efforts? Like your 2 nonprofits, you know, how do people reach out to you and support you?
What do you want?
Well, they can go online. Yeah, they can go online either to Next Step Service Dogs, or they can go to Camp for Heroes, and they can make a donation online. We do have, you know, we will be having like fundraisers through the year where we'll get together and have galas and things like that where we offer things for sale or don't, just have a really big time with bands and stuff where people come to support. And we also have benefactors that really like service animals. They like dogs and they like the whole concept. They say, well, I really like this. I want to make a contribution to Camp for Heroes service dog program. And then that will jointly go to our academy. And, when they earmark money for dog training or whatever, if you're familiar with nonprofits, when they earmark that money, that's what you have to use it for. And that's what we will use it for.
So for people who are interested, the best way to reach out to either, let's take Camp for Heroes first. The best way to reach out to Camp for Heroes and learn about these opportunities is how?
They can go to campforheroes.org. We're just starting this in, so we're building both our websites, joining it together. But the knowledge of knowing that this is our program, or they can go to Next Step Service Dogs and see about what we're doing with the academy, and they can learn all about what Camp for Heroes is about by going to our website. It's Camp, the number 4, not FOR, but just the number 4, Camp for Heroes, Heroes with an E.org.
And then on the West Coast is Next Step Service Dogs. How do people contact your organizations?
Again, also they can go to nextstepservicedogs.org, and they can go right to the donate button, and that'll give them an opportunity to donate directly, different ways to donate, different support that they can give. And they can also contact me directly. My name and my email address is on the website, and I'd be happy to speak with anyone about anything they may be interested in. I've had some corporate sponsorships. We have opportunity to name a puppy, put their specific logo on a dog's vest, so we can discuss those possibilities also.
And it seems to me like there's a lot of opportunity for getting involved, not just with your money, but with your time and supporting the veterans and supporting the dogs and the people who are involved. Or for people who want to help our heroes, our warriors, it's an opportunity to get involved. It's an opportunity to get involved with people who've really made a difference for our country. And we're very, very proud of what you're doing. So I really want to thank both of you for coming on the show, and we hope to have you back again. This is Minda Wilson for Urgent Care.
You go to the doctor and get a diagnosis you didn't expect and you don't understand. If you're like so many of us, your first move is to search the internet for information on your condition. Wouldn't it be great if you could get real information? That's where MedAdvisor comes in, a completely free website that delivers the most up-to-date information from doctors, hospitals, researchers, and clinical trials worldwide. MedAdvisor is free, private, and personalized information about your specific medical condition. It's literally as simple as going to medivizor.com and signing up for free. MedAdvisor is free, easy to use, and saves you hours searching for information you can't find on your own. MedAdvisor is a private, personalized, and HIPAA-compliant resource. MedAdvisor, improving the lives of people with serious or chronic medical conditions and those who care for them. Your personalized medical information is a simple click away at medivizor.com. medivizor.com.
The first step towards helping someone with a hearing loss is to help them overcome denial. An important step is to stop enabling the hard of hearing person. This means stop being their ears for them, repeating what others are saying or what is spoken on television more loudly for them. The longer someone with hearing loss is able to depend on another person for communication, the longer it can take them to come out of denial and seek medical help. Seniors in particular tend to passively accept their hearing loss as a natural part of aging. Be supportive and offer to help them find simple, affordable, and yes, even cool solutions and lots of great information from Clear Sounds. Visit www.clearsounds.com to learn more. Use coupon code RADIO at checkout and we'll take 20% off your order, and every order is only $3.95 to ship. That's clearsounds.com, CLEARSOUNDS.com.